like I've been gone for a minute. Welcome back to another episode of Still Don't Have a Name. I haven't posted in like a couple months, as you know or might not know, I'm a stylist based in New York. And sometimes work gets crazy and I just have no time. But I feel like in between I just was in a place where I was just like, okay, I don't know if I'm able to relay the messages that I have in my mind to y'all. What's been on my mind lately is letting go. Letting go has been the theme of my life for a minute now. If you believe in God or the universe or whatever, God will always speak to you. And it's always that thing that's nagging. This podcast was one of those naggy things, and I started it after years of trying to kind of control situations. I feel good doing this podcast. It feels natural. It feels like, I don't know, I'm just meant to do it regardless of what the numbers are saying. I love that I'm able to speak my truth and just say things that hopefully in turn will help somebody in their journey through life. I don't get my cards read often. Probably got my cards read maybe 2 times, 3 times in my life, and it's always been with like people I know. So the theme, even in that, it's always like, Brownie, you need to let go. And I'm always fighting it. I'm always like, okay, I feel like I'm letting go, but then I'm really not. I'm trying to control situations, trying to control how things come to pass. But recently it's been getting louder and louder and louder. And I swear to you, God will put you in situations where it's like you have no other choice. Like situations just get, I wouldn't say worse, because if it wasn't for those situations, I wouldn't even look at my situation as something that needed to be improved. So I appreciate those moments. I appreciate now when things are not going my way, quote unquote. I appreciate those a lot more now that I'm older than I did before. Before it's like, why is this happening to me? And why am I going through this? Now I'm like, okay, you're trying to show me something. You're trying to teach me something. What is it that I need to learn? That's how I look at quote unquote bad situations now. And they're not so bad to me anymore. There's a freedom in understanding why you're going through something while you're going through it. It changes everything. It might still suck at times, but then you understand why it's happening. In this life, you really can have whatever you want whenever you want. It's not as hard as we make it out to be. It's just a thing that we fail to remember or fail to acknowledge, is that we can't try to control how these things come to pass. And that's where letting go comes in. And I've been learning so much that once I just let go, things just start to happen. The thing with me, I know these things are true, and I have experiences of when I let go and things work out, but then it's not that I forget, it's just that I just kind of go back to what's comfortable. I go back to worrying. I go back to trying to control situations, and I go back to my old ways, my comfort zone. And then things stop working out. But the moment when I let go again, things just start flowing. Like random stuff. I'm telling you, people I haven't heard from ask me, hey, what are you doing? I have this gig for you, or I have this job for you, or just things start flowing. But that's only when I let go. And now, the more that I'm experiencing these things, and the more that I'm realizing, yeah, this is not just a coincidence or coincidences. It's starting to register. It's on the clock that I need to stand on business. I'll give you like the most basic example of something that happened to me recently. So I'm on this job and we are working on this huge project. The project just ended last week. So I'm on this job, my last day there, and they asked me to take a package. We're in Manhattan to another part of Manhattan. That's about train ride, I would say maybe like 30-40 minutes. And because the package, the stuff that was in there is very sensitive and very, if I lose it, it's not going to be good. It's not that, am I going to lose it? It's like, do I feel okay carrying these things on the train and taking it to the location? So usually I will fight for getting an Uber. So it's either taking the train or getting an Uber. There was an option. Usually I would fight for getting that Uber. Like, yes, put me in the Uber. Who wants to take the train? Trains in New York City are nasty. I'm so sorry. Like, not all the time, but it's like, that's another podcast. it's like playing Russian roulette. You never know what you're gonna get. You see everything. You see everything on that train. Personally, Uber. The designer was going back and forth on what he wanted me to do. Either he wanted me to take the Uber or the train. He just kept going back and forth in his mind, back and forth. Usually I'll input and say, no, I want to take the Uber, because blah, 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 blah. But I was like, you know what, Brownie, let this one go. Like, let him come to a decision. So then he said, train. Cool, we're taking the train. Then he said, no, you know what, I might have to put you in a car because it's going to start raining soon. Okay, cool, I'm going to Uber. And he goes back to train, but he's like, if you're going to train and it rains, just call an Uber. I wasn't trying to call no Uber. My card got lost and it's not connected to my Uber account, and I would have to figure that stuff out. But I didn't say anything. I was just like, okay, cool. So in my mind, I'm taking the train. I let it go. I was like, you know what? He's gonna come to his decision, but what I want is I want to take the freaking Uber. So literally, last moment before I walked out, he was just like, what are you carrying? Like, what kind of stuff are you carrying on top of this? And I had this like one of these reusable bags. So I was like, I have this, and then I have my purse. He's like, oh, that seems like a lot. But then he just kept going back and forth. And then the last moment, he was just like, I'm going to put you in a car. When I tell you, that was the best Uber ride I've ever had in New York City. And I've had, obviously with jobs, they pay for the Ubers, the cars, and stuff like that. And as a stylist, so, well, we're used to that. But for some reason, this Uber ride was the most peaceful, and I realized later on is because I let go of that situation and I let it be what it was going to be. Regardless of what it was, I had to be okay with it. So I think the reason why it worked out in my favor is because I was content at that moment. Regardless of whatever way it went, I had peace with the situation. I think that's something in life that I'm learning too, is that you have to be grateful in any situation that you're in. So the more I let go, the more I just say, you know what, let it be what it's going to be. Because sometimes we want things so bad and we stress about it. Like, I want it to be this way, I want it to be that way, I want it to turn out this way. Listening and letting go will get you so far. Even with another example, social media. I was having a hard time with it. I stepped away from social media for a good minute. But then I just had this, like, I convinced myself that I didn't want to do certain types of videos anymore. I wasn't into it. I convinced myself I didn't like it and blah, blah, blah. And it's amazing what you will convince yourself of when you're terrified or afraid of certain things. So there's this particular style of video, you guys see it on my page, where I take an item and I turn it into 3 different things. I've been doing it for a couple of years, but in a couple of years, I only created 18 of them because they take a lot to do. They take a lot out of me. There's a lot of thought that goes into it. It's a lot, but it's so fulfilling, and I love to do it. But the fear in me was saying I didn't want to do it anymore. But I started reading this book. It's called The Artist's Way, and I know everyone that's heard about it is talking about it, but that book is really amazing because it makes you face yourself. And especially as an artist, and it made me realize that it's not that I didn't want to do it. I was afraid, and I was afraid of the next video not being as good as the last video and not being able to do something better, and all these things that I was scared of. I had to let it go. Like, no offense, but I had to stop worrying about how y'all were gonna feel about the videos and just worry about me making the videos and doing the best that I could on them. And once I let that go, I was like, you know what, it doesn't really matter, let me just try. So before I would try to use the clothes on the racks, but I was like, nah, you know what, these clothes, I look at them all the time, I've already done enough of them. Let me just take myself out on what they call artist days to a thrift store once a week. So I'll find an item that I feel like looks interesting, and then I'll try to challenge myself and manipulate the clothing without cutting and sewing and create the video. So I started doing that at the artist dates. It was really fun because I got to a point where I was a bit sick of going to a thrift store. Before going to a thrift store, we used to be so incredible because the clothes that you would find were just so great. But now it's like you see Fashion Nova, you see H&M, you see like all these fast fashion clothes just littered in the thrift store. And it's hard to find good things, but there's this chain of thrift stores that I found, L Train Vintage, when I moved to New York, that I really appreciate and like. Yeah, they have some of those things, but they also have vintage and really cool looking items. So I started doing those, the artist dates, and I started having fun again going to the thrift store. I let go. I was like, okay, let me just do this. Let me go to the thrift store. I let go of like not feeling like I could outdo the last video and all that stuff. I let all of that go. The first video I do after not doing those videos for a long time does really, really well. The second one, yo, I don't know if I'm ready to talk about this yet. It's this red dress, and there's a story behind it, but I'm gonna wait. To talk about that. That's a whole nother story. The red dress, I spent $8 on that dress. I think $8 or $10. I think $10. And that was me taking myself out on the artist date. And that video went viral and went crazy. And I gained maybe a little under 10,000 followers from that one video. Maybe 8,000. Yeah, probably. Okay, 7,000, 8,000. Let me stop at the 10,000. But that video was me completely letting go. Like, I was just like, I don't care how this does. I'm just going to do my best at it. And even when I finished the looks, I thought they were good, but I didn't think that y'all would react the way that you reacted to it. That was crazy. Right now it's at 1.4 million views. And I remember my last viral video, which was it's at like 2 million views, 2.2, I think. That video was another one that I almost didn't do, but literally I listened and God told me, like, just show people how to do it and just make it simple. And that's what I did. And it went crazy. You know when it's God speaking to you, because we all have God in us. You know when it's God speaking to you, just letting go, listening, and just doing is the most important things you can do. Yes, it's difficult doing a video that takes that much brain power. A video that I've only done 18 of in the past, I don't know how many years, and trying to do one once a week. Yes, it is, but I think with this new mindset, it just makes it a lot easier because there's no pressure. Sometimes a little bit of pressure, I can't lie, but there's no real pressure because it's like, if it does good, it does good. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I let go of the algorithm. I let go of the likes. I let go of all of that. And the likes, so the whole likes on Instagram and views and stuff like that, I've been working on letting that go for a minute. Like, I would post things that I knew would not do well just because I need to feel that, that cringe, that embarrassment of your video not doing well. And once I experienced that, I was like, oh, this is not so bad. I mean, it stung for the first probably 3-4 videos. It stung, and after that I was just like, it's still like, when it doesn't do well and I put in a lot of work, it's still like, dang. But that literally goes away in like 2 minutes. It doesn't linger like it used to. Once you really practice that, listening, letting go, especially letting go of the outcome, things just start to propel for you. So those are my 3 things. And before I even touch the garment to style it 3 ways or 4 ways or 2 ways or whatever I do, I pray. That's a form for me of letting go, because I know, like, it's not me doing this, it's God working through me doing this. So I pray that God guides my mind, my eyes, and my hands just to produce something that is going to inspire people, produce something that is going to be amazing, great, whatever I say in my prayer. I just pray and I let it go. So if it fails, it's not me. As they say, let go and let God. It's a real thing. I'm still practicing it. There'll be so much more I'll be able to share with you once I continue to experience life and go through some things. But that was my message. That was on my heart. I wanted to share with y'all. And I appreciate you for tuning in. And I am going to, I know I said this last time, but I will do my very best to post these long form videos once a week, because I feel like they're so important. And yeah, but stay tuned. I have some more 3-way transformation, more fashion stuff that's going to be on the short side of things. But the long form side, I want to keep it this kind of content. I mean, I might give you like let me know if you want to see like long form fashion videos. I don't know, guys. Just let me know what you want to see with this channel. or with these long form videos. I'm open to suggestions, but for now, and I like sharing these moments with y'all where we just could just sit down, decompress, talk about life, and talk about things to help us better ourselves and remember who we are, because we are great, we are amazing, we have so much that we haven't even tapped into. There's so much there. I'm telling you, we're so powerful. Hopefully, more of us will start to realize that. And the more that we start to realize that, the more we could just ascend. And I think that we need reminders. And this is, I'm one of your reminders. There's so many people that talk about things like this, but sometimes you just need a reminder from a specific person, or a random reminder. My video might pop up in a time where you forgot or you're struggling with something. You just never know. There can never be enough of these videos. So if you're feeling like you want to do something like this, just do it, because we need, the more we have, the better. The more we have, the better. So many people in this world, and we need the message, all these messages to get out there. And yeah, that's it. And I love y'all, and I thank you for tuning in, spending time with me, and I will see y'all next week for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going with this. It get hard sometimes, but we gonna keep going. Have an amazing weekend. I love you guys. See you next week.